Current administration is fundamentally different from the previous ones. And of course, right now, President Trump is strong in terms of his domestic political position, and this gives him the ability to adjust the concept according to his own vision. The adjustments that we are seeing, I would say, largely align with our own vision as well. Then perhaps we can hope that this could serve as a modest guarantee that it will be possible to continue working together constructively to seek a peaceful settlement in Ukraine at the very least.
In a world still trembling from years of fracture and fire, a new chapter unfolds. Washington has rewritten its destiny. A revised national security strategy signed by U.S. President Donald Trump, one that echoes not across America alone, but across the halls of the Kremlin. Moscow calls it aligned, almost mirrored. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, his voice framing history, declares, "This strategy is profoundly different. It seeks dialogue, not confrontation, peace, not perpetual war." It is a shift no previous White House dared to script.
Current administration is fundamentally different from the previous ones. And of course, right now, President Trump is strong in terms of his domestic political position, and this gives him the ability to adjust the concept according to his own vision. The adjustments that we are seeing, I would say, largely align with our own vision as well. Then perhaps we can hope that this could serve as a modest guarantee that it will be possible to continue working together constructively to seek a peaceful settlement in Ukraine at the very least.
There is even an acknowledgement that NATO needs to stop expanding. That's what we're talking about, even that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are also statements against confrontation and in favor of dialogue, of building good relations. This is exactly what Putin is talking about. Of course, on the one hand, that's encouraging. But on the other hand, we know what happens when everything is beautifully written out conceptually, but what they call the deep state does things differently. That happens too. Listen, we will have both national responsibility and personal legal responsibility for these actions. Give us guarantees. No one wants to share responsibility with them, but they really want the money. The money they're talking about is basically just enough to keep using Ukrainians as cannon fodder for a couple more years. But we hear that the International Monetary Fund has issued a statement where this topic is addressed very, very cautiously. And they call for such steps not to have any negative impact on the international financial system. So even the IMF, and what is the IMF? It's something they created. It's the foundation of monetary policy, of the monetary world. And it turns out that this very foundation is now speaking out against its own creators and saying, come to your senses, it's a phenomenal situation. It's been a long time since anything like this has happened.
The tone of diplomacy flickers like a cautious flame. Trump, reviving channels frozen under Biden, opens paths no one expected to thaw. Russia sees promise, hope, a chance to end the war in Ukraine, if the deep state does not smother it first. But power is never unchallenged. Inside the 33-page blueprint lies ambition and warning. An expedited ceasefire, an end to NATO's endless expansion, a willingness to negotiate, not escalate. And yet, sharp words strike Europe like flint. Unrealistic expectations, unstable governments, the threat of civilizational erasure. Germany dismisses the critique with a cold wave of sovereignty. We need no outside advice. This is not just policy. This is tectonic politics shifting beneath the world.
And U.S. is still our biggest ally, and there I read it as well that we are still the biggest ally, and it's in the interest of the United States as well that Europe lasts, and that we are really still the ally and working together for these things. I think we haven't always seen eye to eye on different topics, but I think the overall principle is still there. We are the biggest allies and we should stick together.
A new chapter is opening. Peace or pressure? Cooperation or collapse? The world now watches the pages turn.